Minnesota Timberwolves versus Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn's searching for answers, and tonight might tell the story. The Nets enter 0-6, winless at home and anchored at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. The Timberwolves, at 3-3 in the West, are fighting to climb above .500 after a turbulent start. Momentum leans Minnesota's way, favored heavily to extend Brooklyn's slide in this early season crossroads at Barclays Center. Minnesota's offense hums at 115.5 points per game, built on balance and precision. They're shooting 48.8% from the field, dishing 24 assists per night, and crashing the boards with nearly 40 rebounds. Julius Randle leads the charge at 27.2 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 5.2 assists, anchoring both the scoring and distribution. Anthony Edwards adds 25.7 points with trademark explosiveness, while Rudy Gobert controls the paint, averaging 9.5 boards and 1.5 blocks on over 55% shooting. Dante DiVincenzo's defensive activity and Jaden McDaniels' rim protection round out a lineup that thrives on two-way discipline. Brooklyn's offense, meanwhile, has struggled to click. They're putting up 113.8 points, but shooting just 45.8% overall and 35.4% from deep. Numbers that reveal effort without rhythm. Cam Thomas stands as the Nets' bright spot, averaging 23.4 points while hitting 39.1% from three. Michael Porter Jr. follows with 20.6 points and 6.6 boards, though his efficiency has dipped under duress. Nick Claxton's interior defense, 6.4 rebounds, 1.0 block, brings stability, but the Nets' turnover count, over 15 per game, continues to cost them control and late-game execution. The trends tell opposite tales. Minnesota's won 3 of its last 5, including a tight 122-105 finish against Charlotte and a high-octane 127-114 duel with Denver. The Wolves are shooting sharper, defending harder, and finding cohesion in crunch time. Brooklyn, on the other hand, has dropped all 5 of its recent outings, each by narrow but punishing margins. From 122-105 to Philadelphia, to 117-112 against Atlanta, the Nets are close but can't close, a team pressing instead of flowing. The star spotlight belongs to Randle and Thomas. Randle's power game, 48.8% from the field and 47% from deep, gives Minnesota an inside-out force few can match. He's versatile, controlling tempo as both scorer and facilitator. Thomas plays with volume and flair, hitting 45% from the floor with quick trigger confidence, but his isolation-heavy rhythm could collide with Minnesota's structured help defense. One thrives on precision, the other on eruption, a clash that could decide the night's momentum. Tactically, this matchup hinges on rebounding and ball movement. Minnesota owns the glass and spreads the floor with discipline, consistently turning second-chance boards into rhythm threes or interior resets. Their physicality inside, anchored by Towns and Gobert, forces opponents to collapse defensively. A setup tailor-made for Edwards and DiVincenzo to attack in transition. Expect the Wolves to push pace early, testing Brooklyn's transition defense and conditioning while controlling tempo through patient half-court execution. The Nets must counter with spacing and smarter shot selection, using Porter Jr.'s length and Claxton's screens to generate cleaner looks off movement rather than isolation. Brooklyn's offense can't afford stagnant possessions, especially against a Minnesota defense that closes passing lanes quickly. Bench depth also tilts toward Minnesota. Naz Reid and Mike Conley bring composure, shot creation, and defensive communication where Brooklyn's second unit has lacked punch and consistency. If the Wolves sustain intensity on the boards, they could quietly dominate the flow of this game. Prediction: Minnesota's balance, rebounding edge, and interior defense prove too much for a Brooklyn team still finding identity. Timberwolves 121, Nets 109, Another statement night for Randall, and another long one for the winless Nets. Utah Jazz versus Boston Celtics. Utah heads into Boston looking to halt a 3-game slide, while the Celtics aim to steady their early season rhythm at TD Garden. The Jazz sit at 2-4, 13th in the West, winless on the road, and desperate for a spark after a rough stretch against elite offenses. Boston, 3-4, 12th in the East, is trying to climb back above 500 and defend home court, where they're 1-2 so far. With the Celtics holding an 81% win probability, this matchup sets up as a test of resilience versus expectation, Utah's urgency colliding with Boston's demand for dominance. The Jazz enter averaging 120.2 points per game, a top-tier offensive pace, fueled by Lauri Markkanen's 33.8 points and Keyonte George's 9.2 assists per night. They shoot 45.2% from the field, 38.0% from three, and 84.4% at the line, leaning on spacing and tempo. Walker Kessler anchors the interior with 10.8 rebounds and 1.8 blocks. Boston counters with 111.6 points per game, powered by Jaylen Brown's 25.4-point average and balanced ball movement led by Peyton Pritchard's 5.6 assists. The Celtics shoot 43.6% overall and 32.6% from deep, thriving when their perimeter rhythm clicks. On the glass, Neemias Queta's 7.6 boards give them the edge in physicality. The defining battle, Utah's fast-paced offense against Boston's structured, switch-heavy defense. Utah's recent form tells the story of near misses and defensive strain. They've dropped 3 straight, giving up 126, 118, and 138 points, despite consistent offensive output. The Jazz can score with anyone, but their transition defense has lagged. Boston's last 5 reveal inconsistency too. 2 strong wins over Cleveland and New Orleans, sandwiched between losses to Houston and Detroit. Their identity is still forming, but their defense is tightening late in games, especially at home. The star duel commands center stage. Lauri Markkanen versus Jaylen Brown. Markkanen is a scoring machine, shooting 50.5% from the floor and nearly 40% from deep, while logging 8.6 rebounds. His ability to stretch the floor forces mismatches. Brown, meanwhile, blends aggression and efficiency, hitting 53.7% from the field and 46.3% from three, attacking off the dribble and finishing through contact. Each drives his team's offense. Whichever star imposes rhythm first could dictate the night's tone. Expect constant adjustments, Utah sending help to contain Brown's slashes, and Boston rotating bigs to disrupt Markkanen's pick-and-pop flow, in a battle where every possession feels like a statement. Tactically, Boston will aim to slow Utah's tempo, using perimeter traps, early ball pressure, and rotation-heavy defense to disrupt Georgia's distribution lanes and force tougher reads. Their goal will be to dictate rhythm, limit transition opportunities, collapse on drives, and make Utah operate deep into the shot clock. Utah's key lies in rebounding control and consistent secondary scoring from Bryce Sensabaugh and Jusuf Nurkic, who must anchor possessions and provide stability inside without overextending. If Boston shooters, Derek White, Pritchard, and Sam Hauser, find rhythm early, Utah's defense could crack under the sheer volume and spacing pressure. Bench depth clearly favors Boston, whose second unit brings steady defense, shooting balance, and lineup versatility, while Utah leans on streaky youth still developing chemistry. The X factor, Walker Kessler's absence. Without him, interior defense becomes vulnerable against Boston's driving guards and cutters, opening seams for easy kickouts or drop-offs that could turn momentum quickly if Utah fails to adjust rotations in time. Prediction: Boston 121, Utah 112. The Celtics' balance, home court, and defensive pressure should wear down Utah's short rotation, Expect a strong bounce back from Brown and sharper late-game execution from Boston, enough to fend off a dangerous but inconsistent Jazz squad. Dallas Mavericks versus Houston Rockets. Houston looks to stay hot and extend its winning streak to 4 as it hosts Dallas on Monday night. The Rockets sit at 3-2 and second in the Southwest Division, while the Mavericks enter at 2-4, still searching for their first road win. The stakes are clear. Houston is climbing, Dallas is scrambling, and one team's early season trajectory could shift sharply by night's end. The predictive odds lean heavily toward Houston, giving the home team an overwhelming advantage, a reflection of both form and health entering the matchup. The tale of the tape paints two very different portraits. Houston's offense has been humming, averaging 127.8 points per game on 50.3% shooting, with strong efficiency from deep at 45.4% and a solid 73.9% from the line. Dallas, meanwhile, averages 108.2 points while shooting 44.2% overall and 32.8% from beyond the arc. The Rockets dominate on the glass, 48.4 rebounds per game to 35.0, move the ball better, 26.4 assists to 23.2, and protect the paint with a slight edge in blocks. Kevin Durant leads the charge at 27.2 points on 55.1% shooting, while Alperen Sengun orchestrates inside with 7.6 assists per night. Dallas counters with Anthony Davis, averaging 20.8 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 1.6 steals, but his absence looms large, as do those of Kyrie Irving and multiple rotation players. The core theme: Houston's balance and pace against Dallas's depleted defense. Form trends favor the Rockets. They've won 3 straight, including high-scoring victories over Boston and Brooklyn, finding rhythm in transition and cohesion in half-court play. Dallas, conversely, has dropped 4 of its last 5, with defensive lapses and inconsistent scoring defining their struggles. Even their lone recent win, a tight battle against Washington, underscored how narrow their margin for error has become without their stars. The star duel centers on Kevin Durant versus the void left by Anthony Davis. Durant has been electric, scoring efficiently from every level while anchoring a team that thrives on spacing and quick ball movement. Davis, when available, has been Dallas's two-way pillar, averaging 20.8 points on 52% shooting and providing interior presence with 1.3 blocks per game. With him sidelined, the Mavericks lose both their offensive anchor and defensive stability, leaving D'Angelo Russell, 13.8 PPG, 5.0 APG, to shoulder a heavier load against Houston's perimeter length and switching schemes. Tactically, Houston owns nearly every department. The Rockets' fluid inside-out offense, guided by Sengun's playmaking touch and Durant's scoring efficiency, should exploit Dallas's weakened interior rotations and lack of rim protection. Their spacing allows seamless drive and kick action, forcing defenders into constant closeouts that open mid-range windows and corner threes. On defense, Houston's switching front court, anchored by Jabari Smith Jr. and Tari Eason, can smother ball movement, contest passing lanes, and chase shooters off the arc without sacrificing rebounding presence. Dallas will need near-perfect perimeter precision and a collective rebounding effort to stay competitive, especially given their current injury limitations. With key creators sidelined, secondary options like P.J. Washington and Cooper Flagg must not only score efficiently, but also maintain defensive focus against mismatches. Bench depth also tilts heavily toward Houston, whose energy units have closed recent games with pace, defensive tenacity, and veteran calm. If the Rockets establish tempo early, they could control this contest from wire to wire. Prediction: Houston's offensive rhythm and defensive size overwhelm a short-handed Mavericks squad. Expect Durant and Sengun to control tempo early and seal it late. Rockets 125, Mavericks 107. Houston's streak hits 4, a statement of balance, depth, and momentum in the early Western race. Sacramento Kings versus Denver Nuggets, two Western Conference teams on very different tracks collide in Denver, where the 2-4 Sacramento Kings visit the 3-2 Nuggets in a matchup that already feels like a measuring stick. Sacramento, 13th in the West, is fighting to find early season rhythm, while Denver, sitting 6th, aims to reassert its championship-caliber dominance. The numbers show a clear lean toward the home side, but with both teams missing key contributors, this conference clash could reveal which roster adapts best under pressure. Denver enters averaging 124.0 points per game, powered by elite efficiency, 51.8% from the field, 35.4% from three, and 87.3% at the line. The Nuggets' attack flows through Nikola Jokic's orchestration, 19.9 points, 14.4 rebounds, and 10.8 assists per game, while Jamal Murray leads all scorers at 26.0 on 51.6% shooting. Denver's balance extends deep. Aaron Gordon adds 19.9 points with strong interior finishing, and role players like Peyton Watson and Christian Braun contribute key defensive energy, with Watson posting 1.4 blocks per game. Sacramento's offensive profile shows fight, but lacks consistency. The Kings average 115.0 points, shooting 48.1% from the floor and 37.0% from deep. Zach LaVine has been their go-to scorer at 29.5 points per game on 53% shooting, while Domantas Sabonis anchors the glass with 13.6 rebounds and adds 18.5 points. Dennis Schroeder provides control and tempo with 6.5 assists per game, but must improve efficiency to offset Malik Monk's absence and Keegan Murray's uncertain status. Sacramento's defense ranks below Denver's in nearly every category, surrendering high efficiency inside and limited rim deterrence, despite Drew Eubanks' 1.2 blocks per night. The contrast in style defines this matchup. Denver's motion-heavy precision versus Sacramento's reliance on isolation scoring. The Nuggets' ball movement, headlined by Jokic's court vision, meets a Kings defense still struggling to contain high-efficiency offenses. Sacramento must dominate the boards and force turnovers to slow the pace. Otherwise, Denver's transition rhythm will break the game open. Momentum favors Denver. The Nuggets have won 3 of their last 5, including home wins over New Orleans and Minnesota, showing composure after a narrow loss in Phoenix. Sacramento, meanwhile, has lost 3 of its last 4, despite a 135-133 win over Milwaukee. Defensive lapses have haunted the Kings, allowing 120-plus points in multiple contests, and their perimeter defense remains a major concern entering Ball Arena. The marquee duel belongs to the guards. LaVine's 29.5 points per game and 53% shooting pit him against Jamal Murray's 26.0 points at 51.6% from the floor and 39.4% from deep. Both are explosive scorers, but Murray's chemistry with Jokic creates higher efficiency looks, while LaVine often has to generate under duress. The difference may lie in facilitation. Murray's 5.8 assists blend seamlessly into Denver's system, while Schroeder's 6.5 come from more static sets. Expect both to trade scoring runs early, but Murray's ability to dictate tempo and operate within Denver's motion offense could tilt the momentum when possessions tighten in the fourth quarter. Expect Denver's discipline to dictate the night. Their superior shooting splits, rebounding control, and interior spacing give them a clear edge, especially with Sacramento short-handed and playing on the road. If the Kings can't contain Denver's transition flow or match their half-court execution, the result could tilt early and hold steady. Prediction: Nuggets 121, Kings 110. Denver's offensive balance and Jokic's orchestration proved too efficient for a Kings team still searching for rhythm. The Nuggets moved to 4-2, while Sacramento faces the reality that elite offense alone won't close the gap in the West. Miami Heat versus LA Clippers. Los Angeles is back on the big stage, chasing a fourth straight home win, and this one carries weight. The Clippers, 3-2 and third in the Pacific, welcome the 3-3 Miami Heat, who sit sixth in the East. It's a cross-conference clash that tests early season mettle. Miami searching for stability on the road. Los Angeles aiming to prove its balance and depth are for real. The Clippers enter favored, with a commanding edge in win probability, and after winning 3 straight at home, they have momentum to match the math. Miami's numbers tell a tale of controlled chaos. They're putting up 125.4 points per game, the second highest scoring pace in the East, powered by Norman Powell's 24.0 points per game on 47.7% shooting and 91.3% from the line. Bam Adebayo anchors inside with 9.2 rebounds and 43% shooting efficiency, while Davion Mitchell steers the attack with 7.4 assists and 2.6 turnovers per game. But that firepower meets a Clippers squad built on precision. Los Angeles averages 111.2 points with disciplined shot selection. Kawhi Leonard's 23.8 points per game on 51.2% from the field and 44.4% from deep set the tone. James Harden's 9.2 assists pace an offense that's deliberate and patient, balancing veteran control with spacing and defensive discipline. The contrast is clear. Miami thrives on tempo and volume, while the Clippers win through structure and efficiency. The Heat's 49.4% shooting from the field and 40.5% from three show elite rhythm, but turnovers, 15.4 per game, and defensive lapses, allowing 120-plus in 2 of their last 3, could be costly. Los Angeles, meanwhile, leans on rim protection, Ivica Zubac's 1.4 blocks per game, and perimeter containment, holding opponents under 107 points in 3 wins. This one shapes up as strength versus strength, Miami's fast twitch scoring versus LA's methodical defensive resistance. Momentum tilts toward the Clippers. Miami's last 5 have been a mixed ride, 2 wins and 3 losses, including a draining 130-120 defeat to the Lakers. They've shown bursts of offensive brilliance but struggle closing games late, especially without injured guards Tyler Herro and Terry Rozier. The Clippers, by contrast, have steadied after a rocky start, winning back-to-back games and posting solid margins, including a 129-108 rout of Utah. Their defense has tightened, and Leonard's leadership has reasserted control after early inconsistencies. The star duel commands center stage. Powell has been electric, 24 points, 7.3 boards, and 2.0 steals per game, attacking from all 3 levels with balance and edge. Leonard, though, has been the definition of efficiency, 23.8 points, 6 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and 2.2 steals per game on 51.2% shooting and 95.5% from the line. Powell's aggression meets Leonard's composure, 2 veterans dictating pace in opposite ways. Harden's orchestration adds another dimension, while Adebayo and Zubac wage a bruising battle inside, each responsible for owning the boards and setting tone on both ends. Tactically, this comes down to poise. Miami's short rotation and injury-hit backcourt will strain against Los Angeles' depth. Harden, Beal, and Leonard can all initiate offense, spreading Miami thin on switches. The Clippers' rebounding control, 42.6 boards per game, and ball security, just 11 turnovers, create steady half-court rhythm. If Miami pushes pace and forces turnovers, they can create chaos. But if LA dictates tempo, their half-court execution will punish every defensive lapse. Bench play and perimeter consistency will be the deciding swing factors, and right now, Los Angeles has both. Prediction: Clippers 116, Heat 108. Los Angeles' efficiency and defensive balance should outlast Miami's streaky offense. Expect Leonard and Harden to control late possessions, while the Heat's depleted guard rotation limits their closing options. The Clippers' rhythm, structure, and home court composure carry them to their fourth straight victory, a statement win in a young season building toward belief.